Now recording. I'll never get sick of listening to that shit.
Sounds pretty.
Yep.
Well, that's
Hello.
the future of our. I don't know. That's gonna be the future when we all have like robot slaves and people were in the stores, robots working there.
Isn't that already now? Like, even Japan has like automated sales stuff at the stores.
Nah, that's only like nah. They don't. That's only like one or two places. It's not common.
Oh no, wait, it is. It is actually quite common. Even in Singapore, like the convenience stores like 7-Eleven and Cheers. Actually no, it's not 7-Eleven. More like Cheers. Cheers is already implemented in all their branches to have like automated payment system. So basically, they are already one step closer to replacing all the human stuffs. I mean, but of course, the integrity issue is it's gonna be a problem in Singapore.
I mean, the payment system can be automated. Like, yeah, the whole payment system can be automated, but you can't like replace customer service. Like, let's say there's a receptionist, right? Or a clerk. Like, let's say you go to the mall
Hmm.
and you're gonna take everything and you're gonna pay at the desk. Let's say the payment is automated, right?
Hmm.
But if something goes wrong, if you need help with something, or if you need to know where is what and everything, like they can't just leave the whole mall empty for you, right?
Well, yeah,
They need people working there still.
for assistance, yeah. Well, who knows? The world might not live that long to see that happening. I
Yeah,
mean,
probably.
yeah, like considering how the world is fucked now, how we're constantly fucking it. The pussy's gonna tear one day.
On that note, welcome to this week's episode of the Talk Cock podcast.
Hello, which is literally today, like right now, this instant moment. Like an hour later, they realize it's fresh from the oven.
Yeah, our episodes are almost always fresh from the oven. It's like it's like mom's breakfast, you know? You wake up in
Mm.
the morning, you sit down at the table, and you're like, I'm hungry, mom. Where's my fucking breakfast? And your mom is like, shut the fuck up. I'm making it, you parapunde.
No, but for the
And
Chinese
she's
one is
and she's frying some fucking rice and eggs in the frying pan. She's like, these fucking these fucking pundes ruining my life. I wish you were never born. And then slaps you in the face and puts the egg fried rice on your plate and you eat it
with the
up.
TV playing in the background.
Yeah. And and you eat it up while crying.
And then
You
she's
know
like
you're
frying.
hungry as fuck, and no matter what they say, you have to fucking eat and live.
And then as she's frying that shit, she has like in the other hand is like this slipper, like standby, like what the hell you say you parapunde, huh? Talk back to me, huh? You want to eat or not? Okay, man. Okay, man.
But mom, I eat fried rice every day. I want something new. Fuck you, Lancho. Eat what you have. Eat what I
you
give
know,
you, or I give you fried octopus. Oh no, that's actually nice. I give you fried
yeah.
fucking, I don't know, caterpillars or some shit.
Like how Muslim kakak they do the sound, right? Like those
What?
those Malay old ladies, they always do like
Yeah.
this sound like that,
What?
And then when they slap their child, huh? Jahat lah. Then you backhand back beat slap that kid. Then the kid like, oh,
What the fuck are you talking about?
you don't know
I've
that?
never
Like
I've never seen this. What do you
Okay,
mean? How
okay,
you
okay,
know how to Malay? What?
okay. You know, like
Wait,
how a
how
kid
do
is very
you
not.
know this? What are you talking about?
What the fuck? It's quite a common scene. It's like way back, like okay, like Chinese parents are like you very are you? Huh? Oh, you know very grow up already, huh? Got wings can fly already, huh? Now talk back to me, huh? Good luck, you don't eat. I tell you, you don't come back. I tell you later, you finish school, you don't come back. You come back, I tell you, I will slap you, back to China. I tell you. This is the way Chinese like parents start scolding their kids. Uh, I
Wait,
don't know how.
wait, they don't get beat? You guys don't get the shit kicked out of you?
But I did for like when I was in kindergarten, I kicked like my classmate's nose until it bled, and his mom came up to my mom like the raging Hulk. And when I reached home, my mom was chasing me around the house with a cane, man. I was fucking hiding in the toilet, man.
Oh my god. In kindergarten, you were fucking punching kids' noses and making them bleed. What the fuck?
I think I can't remember what he said. I was like, I just kicked him in the face, square in the face, like, and then for some reason his nose bled. And then there was this time in primary
Huh, I
school.
wonder why his nose bled. It's not like he was just punched in the face or something.
Yeah, I wonder why. I mean, it was weird. It's weird for me to be taking the blame for that, but I
Yeah.
didn't thought much about it. But yeah, so anyways, in primary school, um, I was playing catching in school during recess. So back then the way we played was there's this like along the pathway there are like benches. So one when we sit on a bench it's like jail. So like one of the guys was afraid that I was going to run away, and he was quite a douchebag. I remember his name was Jing Sen. I remember his name was fucking Jing Sen. He has this special case of flat foot or something. He's always wearing black shoes, motherfucker. So he was afraid that I was going to run out. So he put both of his arms and surround me, like like how you're sitting on the chair and someone just stand in front of you, putting both hands like locking you to the chair, right? So I was very irritated. I
Uh-huh.
was like, I was like, go away. And he was like, no, you're going to run away. So I bit him until he had fever the next day.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and yep, my mom was summoned again, and I was chased around the house again.
You fucking bit him
Yeah, I did. I bit
like
him
a
real hard.
dog?
Yeah, I did.
You're like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I bit him
what
so
the
hard.
fuck, dude?
Yep. And
Why? You
I
could
didn't.
have just, done something less extreme, like kicked him in the nuts or something.
That was another case, but
What the?
uh, yeah. I mean, I can't remember why. I think because he was too close to me, he was like invading my personal space. I got really annoyed. So I was like, "Fuck off!" Like get away from me. You couldn't chase. I'm just sitting here. I would just sit here. I wouldn't run away. That kind of thing. Yeah, and
Yeah, how many fights did you get into as a kid?
not a
Like
lot.
all your life? Like has it continued from there or what?
Not really. I didn't really get. I was the slipper kid in class. Like I don't do shit in class at all. Like yeah, I was known as the nonchalant fucker. There's always this kid in class who's always nonchalant and who's always failing in class but doesn't give a shit. But you still want to hang out with him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was that kid.
Yeah, but you were also the kid who were fucking punching, biting, and kicking kids in the nuts. So
Maybe that's why I didn't have a lot of friends.
yeah, now you know.
No, actually, no. Come to think about it, when I was younger, I relatively had like quite a few friends. I was actually quite well received for some reason. Maybe because I was really good in drawing. I'm good in drawing. So like they know me for that. And yeah,
But
like I'm when
how young are you talking about? Like
primary
kindergarten or like
no
middle
no no
school?
primary school to secondary school.
Hmm. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, kids. I don't know. Kids find that at that age, kids find other kids cool. The kids who just go around beating people up, beating other
Not.
kids up, and
No, I mean,
they find it cool. Maybe that's why you had friends.
no. I didn't. On the contrary, I had a lot of nerd kids who likes to talk to me, like not suck up to me, but like talk to me. It's because like mostly I was usually like an asshole to assholes. Like like example, like there was this one of the years that I retained in secondary two. I was sitting
Mhm.
way back, like as usual, the rotten kid was sitting way back behind the class sleeping. And sitting in front of me was this guy called Benjamin. And he was a nerd. He was like a nice kid. He bought my drawings back then. And that was what made me realize that I wanted to do art. He was one of the factors. Okay,
Bought
but that was like,
bought your
huh?
drawings in primary school?
Yeah, I drew a
You were
monkey sitting under.
selling drawings at primary school.
No, I think that was secondary too. Like when I was 15.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
so
are what the fuck? Now these are some bougie ass kids, okay? These kids have privilege when they can afford to buy your fucking drawings.
no,
As
I
a
didn't charge
kid,
a lot.
in yeah, but as when I was 15, didn't have if I had if I had some money, I didn't think, "Oh, maybe I'll buy a drawing." I thought, "Oh, fuck, maybe I'll get to eat at lunch today." Fuck's
Uh,
sake.
my school was quite a prestigious school. Like to be fair, like it was quite an all boys like respectable school in Singapore. For some reason, I don't know why I landed up in there, but yeah, that's why I
That's
was
what
quite.
I'm saying. Like that's how you know those kids were privileged. Okay,
Yeah, but
in my day, we couldn't think of buying a drawing. We were thinking about how we could save money for lunch. Maybe
no, but
not go hungry.
he how do I put it? He he really liked my drawing a lot. Like really a lot. For some reason, I don't know why. Like, okay, what the drawing that he wanted to buy was this monkey, in this long
Boring.
sleeve shirt. Huh?
Uh, what?
Yeah, I drew this monkey
Uh
in
huh.
like jeans and shoes and long sleeve shirt, sitting under a tree, like with his legs out and his hands like straight. He's like laying on his hands like straight back. That triangle for what do you call that position? So he
No.
really liked that picture a lot, and he was like, he actually came up to me like, "Hey, can I buy a drawing from you? Like, I really like that monkey or something like that." I was sitting like at the edge of the school, like at the art room or something, like at the edge, like it's really like at the edge where nobody roams around, and somehow he found me there, and I was like, okay." Then he didn't even ask me for the price. I was like, "Oh, I'll just draw him one." And he was like, "Oh, hey, I really like it a lot." Like he really liked it a lot, and but he knows that it's not going to be for free. He doesn't want it for free. So I was like, just give me like a $2 or something. It's fine. And then he just gave me $2, and it's like, then he was really happy. So I kind of like from that point I was like, wow, that was actually a very nice feeling because someone actually really likes my art, and that was what I wanted to do.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, okay. So back to the point. So he was sitting in front of me in class. So he's that nice guy, and I don't like give him an attitude or anything. I just how I am like to you and everything. But sitting in front of him was this guy called Steven. He was like the typical douchebag, that skinny guy with a bowl cut who wears specs and is quite tall, who talks really loudly and very rudely. Like, "Hey, walao, what are you doing here? Like, you're sitting there not doing anything. Hey," then he'll just pat your head or something. "Hey, go and clear rubbish, that kind of kid. So he was throwing this water bottle. He tried to throw this water bottle at Benjamin, who was sitting right in front of me. Then he
Mhm.
turned around and he tried to throw it at Benjamin, and Benjamin like moved his head, and the water bottle fucking hit me, and I was like laying on my head on the table and sleeping, and then it hit me. Then I woke up and I just stared. I just gave Steven the deafest stare that I could ever give in my entire life. That he was just staring at me with his mouth open, like for like a good 5 seconds before he looked away silently. So
You didn't beat
yeah,
him up. after
I
that?
was contem I was contemplating of throwing the bottle back to his face. Like contemplating so hard, man. But yeah, that was the story of that. So in like primary six, before I graduated to secondary one, you know like how you have exams in like huge ass halls, right?
Yep.
So I had like oral exam, so the hall had to be really really quiet. So we're sitting in line, one whole like line, uh, before the table. So it's like we take turns to go up to the desk to have our oral exam. So sitting on my right and my back were two Yaps. I mean, my surname is Yap, so it's like on my right was Daniel Yap, and behind me was Joshua Yap. So we were all relatively close. Not say close, but you know we are all on good terms because you know back then you know when you're a kid like hey same surname and you get close to each other and that kind of stuff. So um yeah so what I drew was yeah
I,
yeah
I never knew that. I never knew you were gonna you get close to someone because you have the same last name. That's kind of weird. I'm not gonna lie. But go on. It's like,
yeah
oh, Chong. Oh, me Chong too. You Chong, I Chong. Oh, we friends now.
yeah. I mean, I told you I'm a fucking Chinese Bangla. I'm more Bangla than you, man.
How is that Bangla? What do you mean?
Bro, every single fucking Bangla friends that I have in my work life, they just
Yeah.
randomly fucking go up to another Bangla. And then I was like, Bang, your friend ah? No, I don't know who. Then like, the fuck was that all about? No, he asking where got food, everything, and I telling him here.
No,
Oh, then I was
no,
like,
they do that because they're Bangla, right? Because they're in a foreign country. So when they see like other Banglas, they're like, oh, I can just fucking talk to him and ask him what I need to know.
yeah,
It's not
and
like,
that
oh, we have the same last names. Now we friend. Ah, they are.
fuck you. Yeah, okay. So anyways, fuck you. So in anyways, the three yups were very close. So after that in the exam hall, I think I can't remember if Joshua was sitting behind me or in front of me. But anyways, I had this sketchbook or a book and I was reading halfway and I drew this o- army commander fucking this girl doggy style. And I passed to Joshua
What?
Yap. Yeah, I passed to Joshua Yap and I drew a few more obscene stuff like blowjobs and everything, and then I passed it to him to see. And he started laughing. And then the teacher came over. I was like, what's so funny? And he took my book away. And my mom was called again.
What the fuck? You're drawing hentai in fucking middle school, primary school? What the fuck, man?
What? I mean, I don't find that very surprising when I started watching porn since I was like primary four, when I was 8 years old.
He's 8 years old. What is what?
Oh yeah.
What? Okay, now that explains a lot. You know
What? About what? What the fuck?
about how many things are wrong with you and why.
Well,
The man was you were fucking drawing hentai in primary school. Okay, fucking hell.
well, yeah. I mean, I tried to have sex in primary five.
No wonder. Wait, no wonder you had friends in during that time. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's the dude who draws fucking porn. Let's hang out with him. Maybe we can get some material." Because they're kids. They're, they can't just go on the internet and fucking get all the porn. They're like, "Oh, let's go to Donkey. Let's see what he's gonna draw today."
You! What the
Fuck.
fuck? What the fuck was I hearing again? What the fuck, man?
That's the nerd kid laughter. Like, what drawing are you going to do today, Donkey Sensei?
Wait, you're half right on that actually, but it's just that it's not hentai. Like I had friends who were really close to me. Um, The more naughty ones, the more arbing ones. Like when we were in secondary school, because when you're an arbing, you're quite flirtatious and player and all that kind of stuff. So whenever this guy, who I still keep in contact until now, like whenever he wants to go after a girl, he will be like, hey, yeah, I want to like chase after this girl. You mind helping me draw something? Hey, you help me draw a picture, then I give it to her. Then I say I draw one. Then I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah,
He made you draw a portrait of the girl so he
that
could
he wants to
impress
go after.
her.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh fuck. Okay.
yeah. Mm.
Uh,
So,
well,
but on
speaking
the
of like, yeah,
what? No, you saying?
yeah. And what were you gonna say? Like, what were
No.
you gonna talk about?
Oh, on the contrary, right? Like, despite when we were younger and all this shit happened, right? I had like proper friends, but when I went to the army, it was a similar setup in army, but surprisingly, in the army, I made less friends. Considering that we are more mature, but I
Mm.
felt that yeah, back then when we were younger, like people just don't tend to like think too much about things and just like this guy is not bad. I mean, I don't care if it's going to annoy me or something, but he's still a friend, that kind of
Mm.
thing. But in army, everyone is just very judgmental and everything. No, but
Mm.
I mean, I can't really blame them. I mean, I went up to my safety officer to say that I can't. I mean, in army, like I threatened to shoot my commander. So
What the fuck? What? You threatened to shoot your commander?
yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? Why would you do that?
Okay. Army. The purpose of army is to push.
That's like fucking crime.
It would be, but the thing is, because even okay, it's an open secret that you guys know about mental health. So when I was younger, I didn't know how to like handle my mental health, and I was going through a breakup, and army pushes you to the limits. So
Mm.
apparently, like some of the officers there, basically in my platoon, were being too
Mhm.
gung ho about certain things, and they don't really give a shit about your mental health, and it was pushing me a little bit too far. And yeah,
Well, it's the army, they're gonna do that.
yeah. So, but the thing is, they being regulars there, they should know like um people to fuck around with, and not just fuck around for the sake of throwing authority around. So, sometimes people like that gotta, be taught a lesson. Don't fuck around with everybody you think that you're king here, because once you step outside of this camp, you're still a civilian. You're only here doing your job. So you gotta like take care of things. Don't act like you're the king of the world, ruling people's world inside and outside of camp.
Yeah. Well, what happened after that though? After you threatened the guy?
They sent me to the army wellness hospital where I can calm down a little bit and all to be accessed further and all. So I was excused. Okay, here's the funny thing. They permanently excused me from firearms, but they put me in charge of my platoon's arm squad, which is me handling all my platoon's guns and issuing out to them.
Wait, they didn't permit you to carry arms anymore, but
Yep.
they put you in charge of the arms squad?
Yep.
How does that work?
I have no idea. It's like
But
they
you
banned me
still
from.
had to carry those arms sometimes, right?
No, I downgraded.
Okay.
Yep. So I
They
was.
were like teasing you. Look at all these guns that you'll never be able to touch again.
Well, the thing is, I have access to all the ammunitions and all the weapons in the whole company.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
It doesn't make sense for them to be teasing me like that. Like, bro, we sleep in the same fucking room. Do you want to die? Yeah. And what's
Yeah.
funny is when they put me on guard duty, I still have to hold a live weapon. The whole thing just doesn't fucking make sense at all. Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
back then because I was still physically quite fit. Like I was the fastest runner in my platoon. Oh no, actually in my whole company. So
Mm.
physically, like my officers didn't really wanted me to downgrade because I was still an asset in terms of physicality.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't want it anymore. I mean, like I didn't really enjoy my platoon's company and all. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, does anybody really enjoy it in the army? Because
Yeah, they do. I still have like I still contact like one of them from there. He still enjoys like hanging out with them and everything, but then again, he's the type that likes outdoors and everything. He's not like us who are more indoors and more
Mhm.
introverted. He's more of the he does dirt biking and all that kind of stuff. So he's more outdoor and adventurous. So when he goes to reservist, he feels like it's like a holiday rather than
Mm.
an obligation compared to people like us, like when we have to go back to reservice in the midst of our job life and be like, oh fuck this man, this is like fucking burdensome and all. But to them, it's fun for them, and working outside life is burden.
A reservice? What do you mean reservice?
Every few years, you have to go back to the army. For like 10 years, 10 cycles actually. 10 cycles. You have to go back to the army for like refresher course.
The fuck?
So
How
we
how long usually those courses last?
I don't know, maybe about 2 weeks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's pretty weird. Like, why does your country? I don't know why does Singapore have that? Still, like, they were never at war, right? They're still not at war or anything.
Yeah, I don't know the purpose of Singapore's military anyways, but I guess every country has to have like a military system, I guess, for self-defense purposes. But I mean, truth be told, like 90%,
Yeah,
I would say
we
like,
all have like military services. Well,
yep.
like we have military sectors, but every country doesn't have like mandatory service like
Mm.
you do, like mandatory training, and like especially going back again and again for like 10 cycles. Fucking that sounds tiresome to me.
Well, I guess it's a different system because like nobody will actually like volunteer to go to the military. Like considering how Singapore's cultural upbringing is like we are we were brought up to grind and to earn for like a living and all. So basically, it's a lot like a cage system. So basically, nobody would actually volunteer. So since somebody wants to volunteer, they did. I think they came up with this plan like 2 years early years, and every now and then go back for a refresher course. So if in case that a war breaks out in Singapore, like any and every member will can take up the arms to protect whatever shit they need to. But I mean, like my friend who's living with me, he's like, he belongs to the police force in the special units, so it's a little bit different for him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But yeah, I mean, I don't enjoy it at all. I mean, first thing is you have to cut your hair, and then you go back and face like these guys talking,
Yeah,
flexing.
I don't think anybody, like, except the people who actually want it, like other people,
Mm.
most people are not gonna enjoy it because no one is like, oh, I can't wait to fucking serve my time in the army, my mandatory training that I have no choice to avoid, that I have
Actually,
to
if
serve no matter what.
some of them do, actually, majority of them do because it's like a hangout. It's like a man's cave there.
Well, but
So
you can have like a hangout if you don't go to the army as well. Like, like there's college and university, which like you're
Uh,
still gonna have friends there anyway.
but the thing is, because in the army, like at my age, it's a little different. People have like families and obligations, personal obligations, like family and all. So when they're forced to gather together, it brings a relief to them because it's not a decision that they make. So it relieves them of this responsibility for family obligations. And when you go back
Oh,
for
you,
reservists, they
hello,
has as when you were
oh,
army. So it's all like
hello, Donkey. You were cutting out there.
hello, 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 hello,
Hello.
hello, 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 hello. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, where do you hear it till?
Yeah. No, you're talking about how it's kind of. I mean, how they enjoy it, getting away from the
Oh yeah,
family to the responsibility.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, because when in reservists, they are not as strict as when you were serving them back then
No,
in when you're
yeah,
18.
I get that, but I'm not talking about the reservice part though. I'm talking about the initial training. It's like a
Ah,
2 year mandatory training, right?
yep, yep, yep.
So at what age do you have to go? Like 18 or 20?
It depends on your studies. Either 18 or 20. People, students do differ like 2 more years because of studies, so they go in when they're 20. People like me who don't study go in at 18, yeah, kind of stuff.
Yeah, at that age, I don't think most people want to go and serve in the army, right? Because at
No,
that age, they already have like friends from school and they have like a whole, they have a friend circle and they have a whole life besides that. So I don't think most people would want, like, I wouldn't, if I had to do that, I wouldn't want to. Like, I would try to do anything to get out of it.
yeah, I mean, I was already working, so I didn't have much to lose. So I was like, might as well like get it over and done with.
Yeah, I'm glad my country doesn't have that because I would fucking shoot myself rather than shoot a commander or something, probably.
Well, I mean, it's not that bad if you meet like the right people and like you have like someone to click. It's not that bad, but I mean, it really does push you to be a better person in a way. Like your limits and all. I mean, it's not too bad personally. I mean, I try to take off what's good from there. Besides all the other grueling like mundane tasks like cleaning your rifles, guard duties, and everything. I had my fair share of like fun, like my girlfriend coming to the camp and we are just stalking through the fence like I'm in jail, and then she'll be like standing there and booking out, looking forward to fuck her, kind of shit.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't. Yeah, for me, like I hate that. Like, I hate that kind of environment and the thought of it as well. I know there are gonna be positives from it in the future, but
Hmm.
like, let's say what the thing is, like, I don't like taking commands from people. Basically, like, I don't like taking orders from people at all. Like, even
Hmm.
as a kid or even until now or growing up, I had a tendency of like doing exactly the opposite or of whatever like someone in authority would tell me, I was like,
Ooh,
fuck
so
that.
edgy. So edgy.
No, it's not in an edgy kind
So
of way. It's
edgy.
like, no, it's not in an edgy kind of way. It's more like, I like, when someone fucking orders me to do it, I lose the motivation or any possibility of having done it already, like, when your mom tells you to go, yeah, I still haven't ate already, you haven't showered, you haven't ate, where are you gonna eat? And when she says that, exactly at that moment, you're like, yeah, fuck that, I'm not gonna do that. fuck. I was gonna do it, but now I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna.
If
I'm gonna
Pastor
wait another
Puneng,
hour.
what
So
the
that
fuck?
I don't know. That's how I'm like, and I just hate it. I just don't like taking order from people, and like, yeah, I just don't like it at all. And so, like, the thought of and that environment, and you mentioned that, right? You even threatened to shoot your commander. So, like, the grueling, the conditions, not only physically but mentally, they fucking torture you to various extents, especially in the
Hmm.
army. They don't really give a fuck. They're like, oh, we're building men here, big burly men. We don't give a fuck about your mental health or whatever. You have to go through this to be a real man and shit. You have to survive if you want to be in the army and shit. And that kind of shit, like, it's just really, yeah, I don't feel it.
It's okay. I get that kind of direction that they're heading for, but it's the ones that are overly gung ho about shit that I couldn't take it because it's like an act, a facade, you know? Like, dude, come on, like, just fucking drop that shit, cut us some slack. I mean, no doubt, I don't deny that he's actually, he can be nice. He can be a nice guy to, like, I mean, the whole platoon is, like, quite fond of him, but personally, I find that, okay, like how some Christians, they are really, really, like, overly friendly to the point where you feel uncomfortable, like, dude, what the fuck? Like, shouldn't you like have some personal space, or I don't even know you. Why are you so friendly? That kind of thing. But like typical common sense thing. But it's those
Mhm.
kind of people. Like, come on, we can do this. Like, come on, you can do it. Every day. That kind of energy. It's good once in a while, like when you're doing something and they're really trying to push you to the limit. But it's annoying when it's applied at the wrong time, and it feels a little bit restricting because similar. I don't like taking orders, but I do understand that in certain situations where our brains are dead and we have to take orders from someone to have to get the ball rolling to lead to a direction, I can get that. But
Hmm.
uh I just don't like to be monitored at everything that I do. Like, like
It's
fucking
like,
get off my
and
back.
yeah, and like the taking order things, like I can do that if it's for something like I want to do, right? Like if someone is showing me, instructing me in some way of something that I personally want to do, I would be
Mm,
like, yeah, sure, I have no problem in that. But if it's something that I have no interest in doing, and I'm like just fucking going along with it, for the sake of it, like someone fucking ordering you on that other end and fucking like pressuring you, or like and any, or as you said, like overly encouraging and shit like that, like, yeah, I
mm.
just can't take that shit.
Yeah, and what's more annoying in that kind of setup, like because that kind of setup is not going to end at army. Like it's gonna recur to you even in your working life. Like even your working environment is gonna be the same. So what I really
Yeah.
cannot stand is that, okay, you want to give me orders that I don't like, fine, it's fine. I'll do my job. I'll do my job. Like I'll follow your orders and do what you need because this is a job, and I understand that you have a position and you have a job to do as well. It's okay. I'm not going to argue with that. But the thing is, I fucking cannot take it that when we do well in our jobs and when we cover for certain people, and that goodwill help is taken for granted at our expense, and to
Hmm.
the point where when we reject to do it further, we become the bad guys. That kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like everything that you've done, like everything that you have tried, meant nothing just because you had to draw a boundary there.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you're talking about the work stuff, right? Or
yeah,
workplace
but
stuff.
not only work, but even in the army, it was the same. They had the kind of same working system, because it's like the whole company is like one for all for one, that kind of thing, like fucking superhero academia thing going on. Yeah, so it was a little bit annoying because like sometimes some of us are really trying to give our all, but because of some jerks who are like fucking cowards, they're just like, trying to slither away like a fucking snake, that kind of thing, and get everyone else into trouble, that kind of thing. And sometimes it's like, just because you're doing well, and this other person drags your whole reputation into the mud and just drag it along and shitting on you as you're going, that kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah,
I don't want that.
that's why I'm like, if miss me with that shit. Like, I don't fucking wanna be a good guy and be like, oh yeah, sure, I could do that for you. I could cover for you here. The No, I don't want. I don't want to fucking do that. I'm just like, I'm gonna do what my task is or what my job is, and after that, I'm not gonna listen from anyone. I'm like, fuck it. I'm done with what I need to do. It's like once you do something good for someone, if that someone like takes it for granted and like
Mm.
keeps grilling you on that, and when you don't do it it's like your fault. That's exactly the kind of situation I want to avoid.
Yeah, but after a while, because okay, the thing is, in the workforce, I've been working for some time, so after a while, I know what I'm capable of doing. So usually when superiors ask, I mean, we're talking about the work life lah. So when superiors ask me to do something more, usually I'll take it without asking too much, because I'm the sort of person that if there's an issue, we troubleshoot first and get over that situation first before we talk about anything else. So we get it over
Hmm.
and done with, and then we talk about it again later. So that the person who instructed me to do this has to understand that this is not my job, and I'm
Hmm.
only doing it to show my capabilities. Like, I've done it for you. I've proven to you that I can do it, but I will not, and I don't want to do it because this is not under my sector. So why? Because usually a lot of management people, they're snakes. When they don't understand that, when something is covered, they'll just eventually pass on that role to that person as ad hoc, duties and everything. So eventually, that guy who doesn't do his job gets away scot free and gets paid, and that's not fair anymore, because our pay is not going to increase just because he's slacking off. His pay is not deducted. So why? It doesn't fucking make any sense. Like, I've proven to you that I can do it, and this is his responsibility. You should go to him, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's flawed. Like, it in the working system, like, the outside world working system. There's a lot of people like that. A lot of management, who are just there, to pass time and everything. It's fine. It's understandable. But come on, man, fuck you. You have that status for a certain purpose. You have to understand how to handle your team, because without your team, you are the one who's going to be there to do all the dirty work, and you don't want that. So you need to understand how to issue out responsibilities to each job stations, to their respective areas, and to understand that, this is not to be taken for granted, at like excess jobs and everything. If you want to give excess jobs, it's fine. Talk to the person if he wants. Give him additional pay for what his job is worth, and not just like step over him just because he's doing a good job. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna make it a point to like try to not accept any extra fucking work more than I need to do for in my life, because I'm like, I I can't be bothered. I can barely be bothered to do the things I need to do.
Hmm.
So I'm like, once I'm done with my obligation, I'm like, yeah, sorry, no, I have I have stuff to do.
I think it's fine if you know that that particular situation, your manage okay, if you know your manager well enough, and you know that he doesn't exploit you, and he sincerely needs help, I think it's still
I mean,
okay.
if he like if he like let's say if he absolutely needs help from me and I'm the only one that can do it and nobody else can do it at that point, then I'm like, okay, sure, I'll try, you know. But like, I'm pretty sure it can be done by other people. You're just too lazy to go and try to find someone else to do it, or try to make the person who's supposed to do it actually do it, you know. So
And yeah, I think it's if okay, let's say like we're not calculative in terms of helping out each other. Okay, let's say okay, let's say we have a team of us and all of us are not calculative in helping each other. You know, we don't really care about like every single things that we help each other. Like if let's say like see you need help, I'll just naturally go over and help you and stay late to help you out. You know that kind of things. And we don't really talk calculative language in terms of that, and the whole team vibe is like that. I think it's still fine, but that person who's slacking off has to be dealt with personally by the management to make him understand to fulfill his own responsibility in order for the team to work properly. Like it's fine that nobody helps him. He finishes up his own work,
no,
and
the
the
thing
rest of
is, like, okay, we're talking about like a
mm,
work kind of thing at this point, like
mm,
a
mm,
small group
mm,
thing basically. But
mm,
the problem would never arise in the first place if everyone was doing their job, right? Like
mm,
if someone is messing up or someone is slacking off, which is exactly the reason this kind of problem would like develop, you know? If
mm,
everyone was doing their job, as you said, like everyone helping each other out is fine. But
mm,
the main cause of the problem is that someone or some people aren't doing that. Uh,
yep,
they're like, let alone doing helping others, they're not even
mm,
doing the task they are supposed to do themselves. So
mm,
that's the problem. You got to get rid of that. Like, sure, maybe one project you guys can come together, like the good apples, the good people who actually want to finish the thing. You can come
mm,
together and finish it, and
mm,
afterwards you have to deal with the bad apples. You can't go forward and keep doing, more work or more projects with the same team when you have these bad apples in there ruining it for everyone else.
mm. Yeah. I think yeah, I mean personally if I were to encounter such situation, I would tell the person who is slacking off to like, okay, fine. Since you can't really help anyone else. Okay, you finish your own job. You just do whatever you need to. Even if
Yeah.
when you're really, really busy, no one should come and help you. I will not allow anyone to come and help you. So you just
Mm.
gotta do your own job. No one is gonna help you, you don't need to help anyone. You wanna isolate yourself, keep my team out of it. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, so this is how I think I think it'll be more balanced for the rest of the guys who are helping each other to get things done better and it's more productive that way. So that guy he himself has his own job to do. Get his money the his worth done out, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's simple, really. You're getting paid to do something, do a work. So
Mm,
if at the minimum you have to just do it, you know? Uh,
yep.
if you can't, like, just fucking quit. I don't know. If you can't do it, like, if it keeps repeating, like, once is maybe acceptable if you can make it up for it next time. But
Mm,
twice it happens, you can't really, like, go on with that shit, you know? You can't
mm,
really, because it's gonna happen again and again. You just gotta get
yep.
rid of the person and find someone dependable.
Well, yeah, I mean if
That's
that's
what
the
I think.
case, if that person is the burden of the team, yeah, he has to be removed. Like
Yeah.
I don't have any sympathy or any compassion for such situations because warnings were given to you. People tried to help you, but you gotta understand that everyone else has their own lives and their own energy and things that they want to do. And I don't think helping you to like OT and everything is part of what they want to do. So they have to you have to get rid of that single cancer cell in order for the whole team to move up. I mean if you guys can do better without him, I might as well take his pay and divide it among the rest of the guys who can actually do more things. You know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense to have one person dragging the whole team back. It's a bit stupid. Like if my team is capable of filling up the station without him, so be it. Fire him and take the pay and like distribute among
Yeah,
uh the guys.
that would actually incentivize the other people in the group who are actually doing the
Yep.
work. That would give them some incentive to do the extra work because they'll get extra. they'll get paid extra for it.
Yep. Yep. So this is my belief in terms of where I stand at my current work. Like this is my belief. It's all about work, and if we argue and we quarrel and everything, it's all just about work. We don't carry it to the outside of work. After that we still talk nicely and everything. Work is work, and this is where it has to be drawn properly. Like I don't like people to be overly friendly upon the first meeting, especially if they're coming to work under me. Because that is really a red flag. Like usually snakes are the one who's always coming up to you like, hey bro, smoke, take a stick of cigarette here, I offer you a cigarette, that kind of thing. Those are usually the snakes. Yeah, and
Try to
I'm
get
proven right.
friendly with you, so later they can be like, bro, can you like do this for me? I can't really do it. I got something to do and stuff like. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
those people really like try to make some kind of be friendly with you, get in the
yep,
get on your good side, so they can like weasel out later and avoid
yep. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for him, like despite my exterior image, I am still a person who is old, old enough to know better. You know what I mean?
you're old,
Yeah.
period.
Fuck you. So yeah, I mean that guy has been on the chopping block, and my right hand man is his only hope left of remaining here, because I've already been thinking about firing off this guy. It's the same scenario that we talked about. He's dragging the whole team down. Everyone else in the team is good. Like literally, they're doing very good. Like
Hmm.
the whole team is very strong, and I can see it. But this guy is the only problem that you have to babysit this guy. Otherwise, he's going to laze around and all that kind of thing. And he's not earning the bare minimum requirement that we need on a daily basis, even for him to earn extra cash like overtime and all that kind of stuff. So usually what I'll do is if you want to earn, everyone is here to earn money. You guys have family, and you guys are here to earn money. So am I. We have a job to do. So do I. So take care of my work. I'll take care of you. So those guys who actually can work, if I don't really care if they're still under like probation period. So long this guy can work, get shit done. He needs to OT. He needs to earn the money. I'll just let him do freely whatever he needs to do. Like you just do what you need to do to finish the job. You let me know how much how what are the hours that you clocked, and I'll settle it. I'll settle the rest. And that
Yep.
that burden that burden that guy that I was thinking of firing, he hasn't even done enough to prove the criteria for what I need in a day. And so I have to hold his OT back and not for him to earn anymore. He's just going to take a basic pay. If he wants to give me this kind of attitude, like he's just here to work, fine. That's how I'm going to treat you. I'll just leave
Mm.
you. I won't let you earn extra money. Those who can work, I'll just let them earn as much as they can, because this is what the company needs, and this is what I'll give them as well, because they're giving the same back. So this is why they are very. I find that this system works a lot better with them, because they understand that there's money to earn, so long that it's not trying to fake around like, hey bro, I'm taking my own sweet time to do this, and I want to stretch out the hours and everything, that kind of thing. They know that now. They know that so long you don't do that, there's always money to earn. And there are a few months that they are earning a lot more than me. So this is how much that I'm trying to prove the point of you take care of my work, I take care of you. And I think that this system works a lot better because the vibe in the team is still good. Like there's no backstabbing, everything. Everyone is very focused and working and everything. Yeah,
Mm.
and they are not bothered by that guy's slackness and everything, because it doesn't affect them. They know that they can earn their own money. The money that they earn is not affected by his uh what do you call that, incapability.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah, that's good.
I mean
I mean, yeah,
the
you
fact
gotta
that
do what you gotta do.
mm, yep. I mean the fact that I don't have to physically show up at my workplace in order to get shit done, I think it shows a lot about my team. And I'm really glad to have such able and capable people to be running the whatever needs to be done there. I mean, remember back then when I was talking to you, I was at a factory working to like overnight and all that kind of stuff. To this stage, I think that's a lot of progress, and if I don't have to be there, it's already a good sign.
Yeah.
Hmm. So yeah, I mean, of course, let's hope that things stay that way lah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, you can't win them all. There's always like days that or times that you're gonna like have like very bad employees and everything. But the thing is, you will only have a bad team if your leader is bad. I honestly believe that because um, I work a lot of jobs, right? So I've seen a lot of very good workers and very dedicated people who are dedicated to their jobs. But because of bad leadership, there's no direction, there's no focus, and uh, they how do you put it? Like being exploited at their expenses and everything, and they feel unjust because it's like, and they're not the sort that really talk um outspoken as me. So they just usually like keep quiet about it, and usually I'll be asking them like, like, hey, why are you doing this? Isn't it fair? And if they choose not to talk about it to the higher ups, I usually will go over to the higher ups and question their authority on this. Like, don't you think that this is wrong or something like that? This is not right. I mean, he's tired too. You got to see that he's tired too. Then he's not getting any extra pay. So why are you doing this? That kind of thing.
I mean, yeah, I think like a good leader is always very important in a teamwork or group
Yep.
work situation like that.
Yep. It is
Like
because, huh?
the leader has to set the rules, set the boundaries, and like set the framework for everything, and like he has to pick. It's yeah, it's a lot of like picking the right people for the right jobs and like the right way to go about it,
Yep.
and everything. Like, yeah, there's a lot in being a good leader, but it is definitely very important in those managerial positions.
It is. It is because um, one single bad management or one single bad apple in the management team can drag the whole company down.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
that is how bad it is. So I've read this quote on Facebook. It's a very cheesy quote, but it's like people are saying that people don't leave jobs, they don't leave companies, they leave bad management. And that was something that hit me quite strongly because I never thought about it in that way. And I never really gotten along with like bad management people. I'm always up against the authorities. Like usually at my workplace, I'm always known for that kind of shit. I don't know why. Like I'm always known for being very confrontational towards the authorities. Like even if you're my boss or whoever, if I find that this is not right, I will outright go and talk to you about it. That kind of thing.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, if it doesn't
Well,
make
yeah.
sense.
Well, the thing is, you can do that, but most people cannot do that because most people is like if they're working at a job, they're like they're gonna have to do whatever their superior at their work tells them to do, right? And most people don't have the courage or don't want to take the risk of like calling their superiors out or questioning whatever orders or whatever is done by the management, because if you like start questioning and start calling people out, you don't know what's going to happen to you. Your job security might be at risk. Tomorrow you can be out of your job and you don't know what you're going to do after that. So most people are just like they just want to stay as less like as little confrontational as possible. They just want to do the work and earn the money, right? Like, That's why at work, like you're not gonna see most people like confronting their superiors or like questioning them or calling them out.
Mm.
But
I-
someone like that is like important. Uh, if yeah, if your superiors are like doing fucked up stuff or like doing weird ass stuff, you do need someone there to call it out.
yeah.
Maybe not, but yeah, like who's gonna do that? Like 99% of the people are just looking to get by. They don't want to be confrontational. Like I
Mm,
don't, even me, I don't want to be confrontational. I just want to get whatever I need to do, get it done, and get by
yeah.
with my life. You
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe because it's in my character as well. Like, okay, it's fine if I fuck up something and you scold me, but um, don't fuck with me unnecessarily. Like,
Mhm.
you know, because it's the same. I'm on the same mindset. Like, I don't want any drama. I just want to come here and earn my money and do
Yeah.
what I'm supposed to do. So when things get out of hand, um, people tend to bully because like trying to use their authority on you. But that is the thing. Like, you want to talk about authority, fine. I'll talk authority about you. Well, with you. So what makes you think that this is working out? What makes you think the system is working out? If you can tell me, give me a logical reason. This is not even about authority anymore. This is about logical system. If the system is not working out, that means you are the fucking problem who's not solving it. So
Well, that's
that
the
doesn't
thing.
make sense
Most
to me.
people don't understand logic, or even if they understand logic, they don't want to acknowledge it. Like,
Well, yeah.
especially let's say if it's some superior who's like a fucking asshole, right?
Mm.
And you're having problems with him, and you know what he's doing is like, is he's out of his it's like he's out of his depth, right? Like he shouldn't be doing something like this, or is just plain wrong and he has no authority actually, but because he's in a superior position to you in the company, like he can do that stuff, and like because he has more power there. See, his position gives him more power automatically, so it's like you kind of need to obey him, because if you don't, he can just fire you, or like say give a bad, what do you say, a bad review of
Review
you, yeah,
customer.
to his superiors, and then you're gonna be in a bad light, you're gonna be in a bad spot in the whole fucking company and stuff.
I mean, bro, you look at me, man. Do I look like I'm someone good? Like,
I mean,
personally, for me,
that's you though, like you don't, like,
yeah,
that's your personality, right? Like you
yeah,
will
but
call someone out, and you don't care about like what happens with the consequences, like
I
if
do.
it's
But the thing
gonna,
is,
yeah.
I mean,
Like
I
you
do.
do, but you're willing to risk it, or you're willing to stand up for it, or like call it out, even if it means like losing your job or something like that.
Well, if a job is okay, if that job requires me to be so confrontational and standoffish, that means that job is not even worth for me to be staying in the first place. It doesn't make sense anymore. I mean, this is what I would tell the quieter guys. Like, okay, let's
No.
put ourselves in this scenario. Like, okay, you and me
Mm.
we are working, and you're just there to get by days. Okay, let's say you're earning 2,000, but we are both earning 2,000 per month for doing this shit. And then eventually, when there's lack of people, okay, we understand. Maybe for a short period of time, we can't hire people, we can cover it. But has gradually, our management is not doing anything about it and just taking it for granted, and we're just taking over without any additional pay. It doesn't make sense
Mm.
because whatever we are doing, we are getting paid $2,000. But whatever we are
Yeah.
doing is worth 2,500 to $3,000. So naturally, this will be brought up. I'll bring this up first. And if
Yeah.
I mean naturally, if okay, we are both close, naturally I wouldn't just go up and just confront just everything. I'll just talk to you about it first, and I'll just try to let you know. Okay, let's say earning this on here, and what we are doing, we know that it's worth this amount. If we were to go out with this resume, we were to go out and let another company know that what we have been doing, we definitely can get this pay, and in a better system, more organized, better system that will let our lives be easier compared to here. So it doesn't make sense to stay here anymore. Like why would you want to earn this measly sum of money suffering when you can earn it in a better light and a better environment in a place? So there's no real, to be honest, like because to be
I mean,
honest, like
if
every
the yeah
sorry, you're saying?
yeah, I'm saying like if someone else is willing to hire you, then
Mm,
there is no risk, right? Like, but you don't have that guarantee yet because I don't know how the job market there is, but in most places, like very hard to like get a permanent job, like land a secure job, get job security and stuff. But if you can talk to another company, like, and you can somehow find a guarantee of you getting hired in another
mm,
company, then like that person would have no problem in like quitting this thing if like your pay doesn't get higher. Like if you talk to your superiors and they don't hire your pay, like of course you're going to quit if you can
yep.
find the same kind of work for more pay in other
Mm,
company. But
mm.
I don't know, for most people they don't have those connections, right? And especially
Uh,
if you're talking about like if you're talking about foreign workers,
mm.
like in your factory, like you deal with a lot of foreign workers, so especially for them, I think they have even less of a opportunity, like they even have a less of a
Not
uh
really. They have more networking connections than locals. Some of them are really really well networked. Like some of them have been here, they worked here before, so they have connections. So losing losing the job here doesn't mean it's the end for them. Yeah. So usually how this works is like, okay, let's say I'll talk to you about it to find another job. First, what we'll do is like, okay, if I can talk some sense into you about this, I'll try to do some job hunting as well. And I'll try to see what other options, and we'll try to go interview first and let the company know that we are still there and we want to leave because of this and this and this and what we're covering. Okay, to be honest, the person who is interviewing you knows the scenario. They will know the scenario, trust me. So when they hear that, when they can hear the the truth behind things, so long it's not exaggerated or anything stupid, they will know. And that's where once the interview calls back and gets back to you, say that okay, we will hire you, and that's where we'll give our 1 month notice and we'll leave. So it's like of course we're not going to resign immediately and then go and find a job. I mean although that's me, but usually what people here will do is that they'll find a security first and then they leave the previous one.
well, yeah, I think the people who can do that will do that, right? But a lot of
Not
people
all.
cannot. No,
Not
why not? If like someone can find a job somewhere else, like you can do same work for more money or get better
comfort zone.
benefits, like why wouldn't you leave the fucking
The
work that does not
comfort
satisfy?
zone.
Comfort zone for what?
Yep, it's just comfort zone. You can't. It's either they are just some people are just satisfied in their mundane path. They would choose to tolerate rather than make a decision in an action. There
I'm
are
f-
people like that.
I'm fine with mundane job, but I'm not fine with like
No, no,
getting
not
actually
mundane
getting
job.
screwed over, right?
Yeah, but that's why they are the types that prefer to swallow it and not have any hiccups in their life, like like they just want to they don't want to have any risk. To them it's a risk because maybe they have like a family that they need to feed and all that kind of stuff, but they are not willing to step out of that comfort zone to have a better point of view or better environment because they're so used to it, and they're not willing to step out of that comfort zone because that suffering has become something they're used to. It
Yeah.
really works that way, man. Like suffering can be something that people can get used to, and they are not willing to step out of it.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. So there are
Also,
there.
yeah,
Sorry.
I just wanted to ask, like, how does the whole foreign worker thing work in your country? Like, does the company of labor work for, doesn't the company apply for the work visa for that person?
Yeah, they do.
So if they switch company, or like try to quit a job and get another job, they
They have
have
to.
to get a new company to apply for their visa again, right?
They apply, or either that, if they're already in Singapore, you have to sign a transfer form.
Transfer form. Okay.
Yep. Yep. So let's say if you leave on good terms, definitely like transfer asking the company, the present company to sign the transfer form is not an issue. But if let's say like this guy is like embezzled like certain amount of money from the company, and they want to go to another company, no man, you're not going to sign that fucking transfer form.
And if the transfer form doesn't get signed, then he's basically screwed, right?
Not really. I mean, he can find another company. He can cancel the permit with the current company, and then
Uh,
he goes back, and then the present company reapply. Yeah.
uh,
Hmm.
but if, like, let's say he's going to reapply for a new company, right? The present company is gonna reapply for a work visa for the person, but for like, let's say this is a government visa thing, so they're gonna contact the previous company they worked for, or like they're gonna ask like why you leave the previous company, or why
Well, yeah. So that's
the whole thing there, you know. So if there's no transfer form or like recommendation letter, then
okay.
wouldn't it be like problematic then?
I think the if there's a transfer form, that person don't have to reapply. I mean, there's two applications if I'm not wrong, because I'm not really very deep into the manpower side of the company. But to
Oh,
what I think it is that if you transfer, it's easier because you don't have to reapply. You can just carry over. But
yeah.
if that guy is back in Bangladesh, India, or China, you have to reapply. You have to reapply.
Yeah, and you see, I think that's where the problem is. Like, that's why I think that like foreign workers are even less willing to transfer,
Well,
because
the
they
thing
could
is,
have problems
it
reapplying and stuff.
not really. It really depends on how the current company is willing to bring them over. Okay, first thing is because okay, foreign workers come over, they're like working every day. They don't really get off day because they are here to grind. So naturally,
Yeah.
when they cancel their permit and they go back for like 1 or 2 months, it's like a blessing for them. While the next company processes the paperwork and everything for them to reapply. I mean, that is of course if they leave on a good note. So there's no issue in that. But like if you were asking if that
Yeah.
person has like a bad record, like embezzlement and all that kind of thing, the chances
No,
of him coming back to Singapore is
no, it's
almost
not.
zero.
Not even embezzlement. Like, if he has like a bad reputation or like a bad relationship with the company he worked for, right?
Mm.
Because of confrontational or whatever, maybe he had a confrontation with his superior or something, and now he has a vendetta against him, you know, or he's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about this guy anymore. I'm not gonna sign a transfer form or whatever. I don't
Uh,
care what he does. So
that
if
that
that happens, it's not gonna be. It could be a problem for him when he
based
reapplies.
based on the agency that hired him, because there's usually a third party agency for manpower. So usually, I think the manpower, if the government wants to liaise for testimonials, is usually the hiring agency that does that.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
So, yeah, if he managed to if it's on bad terms, but he hasn't done anything bad, the agency still can cover for him to say that there was some misunderstanding between the company. He's not a bad person, that kind of stuff. So he still can come back. But if it was for like embezzlement and everything, definitely the agency is not going to risk their reputation for that and strike him off the list and leave a record in the records that this guy has embezzled from this company before, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Yep, and the thing
Right.
is, you'll be surprised that a lot of okay, because how it works is there's two agencies. One is on the other end and one is on our end. So okay, let's say I want to hire this Indian worker, so there'll be this Indian agent and Singapore agent. So they both will be communicating with each other. So sometimes the Indian agent will send false manpower over. So that means they don't they don't deliver what they market out. Yeah, so it's not gonna be a big problem in that sense because yeah, that shit happens a lot in the workforce, and you have to filter them as companies who hire them. You have to filter the truth out of all this shit. Yeah, because there are a lot of
False
scam
manpower.
companies. What?
What do you mean false manpower?
That means it's not the person that you initially wanted to hire, like fake passports, fake identity, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, really?
Yep, this is why a lot of agents, foreign agents who are in that country itself, like China, India, Bangladesh, the agents from that side of the that play, uh, yeah, that's why you need a third party agent to go and hire that because, of course, if they are the ones who are hiring them, so when you bring them over, we reject saying that this is not what we got, what we were shown, so we're going to reject this
Hmm.
good, and then that hiring agency will blacklist that agency that who did this shit, so that it's never to work
I
again.
mean,
And then
yeah, I mean, why would they do that though? Like once the person arrives in Singapore, right? They would immediately be like, it would be immediately obvious, right? Like this isn't the person they hired or wanted to
yeah,
hire. This is a different person.
the thing is in the working workforce, like sometimes you don't have a choice, you're in need of people. So usually what their mindset is a 50-50 gamble on the other side of the agency, the foreign agency. It's a 50-50 chance, like you know they
Oh,
they they are the types who go like hopefully this guy can work. It's not the right guy, but this guy still can work. Hopefully he can make it there, that kind of thing.
okay.
Yep, so that's how they earn their money there.
Okay. I mean, for the manpower kind of labor work kind of stuff, I'm pretty sure like most 90% of the people that go there the first time they like go to a place like Singapore, they don't have many or much or at all any experience about the work, you know, especially the physical labor work. If we're
Hmm.
talking about like maybe I think a lot of people don't have any experience and they're like we're just gonna go in there and learn or something because a lot of the
Yep.
things like those labor kind of works usually they go there because they don't find any other work in their country.
Yep.
Like let's say someone in Bangladesh who cannot find anything else to do, has no educational qualifications or skills, and has nothing else he can do in the country, is probably gonna try to, go to those agencies and go Singapore or Malaysia or somewhere,
Hmm.
to go for those manual labor works. So he
Hmm.
probably won't have any experience when he goes there.
Yep. That is true. That was what happened to me in the second guy that I got. Um, he was a young guy. He was like 22 or something, and I was like, "Boss, this is not the guy that was from the video. I mean, you've been had, man." And then we were like, "Okay, it's okay. We need people. We'll just see how it goes. Like I'll just try to teach him to see how it goes. I don't want to like." After all, I understand that people that we hire from foreign countries are from less well-to-do countries, and I don't want to just be an asshole in general. Like maybe this guy can really work, so I did give him a chance, but
Hmm.
he doesn't listen. That's the thing, and he
Hmm.
can work. It's it. Okay, I mean, you will know that people from your country. or China or India, they will work. They can work because
Yeah.
it's in the blood. We all can work, but it's only whether how we do the work. So I tried to teach him and everything, but he just doesn't listen. And I swear to God, I've not been so pissed every day for so long. Like I've been screaming at him every day, like for fuck's sake, like this is not what I fucking taught you. I picked this skill up for like 1 or 2 months only, and you've been here for 2 months, and you still doing the same mistake as day one. Are you fucking listening to me or not? That kind of thing. And it was I was
Could
still
he understand you?
he could, but for some reason I even show it to him. Like, okay, even if he couldn't, when it comes to work, body language matters a lot. Okay, you just need to show him like how to do it with pointing and everything, whatever you need to do. He actually did a few times, which were good, and I did tell it to him like, this is good. Please keep this up. This is what you need to do. Try to remember how you do it and everything. The moment I say that, the next thing he does, he fucks it up. Yeah, so that aside, I still accepted him. I didn't wanted to fire him. I mean, I wanted to fire him because he was no help, but I was still grasping for that little glimpse of hope. It was
Yeah.
until one situation that pushed me off the cliff was he he delayed the thing that was supposed to be done and caused the order to have a delay. Because I
No.
did remind him, yeah, I did remind him that do this one first because this one needs to be done first, and then he went on and do some other things. Yeah, so that was a final straw. I was like, fuck it, like, you being here doesn't help me at all, because when you are here, I'm doing 2 times the job, because if I were to do it the first time, I do it once, do it good, I can focus on other things. But you are here, I still need to do whatever I'm doing plus covering your ass, wiping your ass. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for that reason, I told him, I just got him fired off. I was like, fuck it, I rather suffer, and work rather than to, you know, do this, waste my time teaching someone who's not willing to learn, or who cannot learn, or who doesn't want to learn, you know.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, a lot
so
of the times, a lot of those people won't be able to learn probably because they never had ex- that work experience before. Like, I'm pretty sure a
yeah,
lot of the people that the skill you're teaching them is the first time they're ever doing that kind of work. They might have never worked in that field before, you know?
yeah, I know, but I think it's as you said, the general work experience. I don't think he had general work experience before, because
No, they don't.
I
They
yeah,
usually, most of the time, don't. That's why they go
yep,
there because they cannot find any work.
yep. So that's the thing that bugged me the most. Not because he can't do the work, but it's because he lacked of so much general work experience, and he was okay. I understand different cultural upbringing, but he was really rude. Like, he had no respect at all. Like, to me,
Right.
I run this place, and I tell everyone that respect is one of the first things that's important to me and important to the company. And I yeah, that matters a lot to me, because he talks to me and, like, literally with no respect, despite me teaching him everything, putting down my status and everything to teach him everything, he still had no respect. The way he talked, the way he behaved and everything. So that was one thing that really bugged me a lot. Um but the thing is, yeah, he had no work experience, and that was a bit bad. Like, it was really bad. Because, okay, the jobs I used to work. I haven't been in this kind of work at all before. I've only touched the tool that he touched for, like, at max 2 to 3 months. I wasn't even a pro at that at all. Like, I wasn't even in a good position to teach people how to do that. But I still managed to get by with the basics. and I wanted him to be better than me in whatever I'm doing, because that was not what, I just picked it up, but I given him the same amount of time that I had to learn this, to get to where I am, 2 to 3 months, and he wasn't even able to reach where I was for 2 to 3 months. Of course,
Yeah,
I'm not
I
expecting
mean,
him to be a professional.
yeah, I mean, if he isn't like respectful, if he doesn't like, if he's disrespecting you, or he doesn't have that kind of like, if he has that kind of attitude, of course his work is going to be sloppy as well, because that means he doesn't have respect for the work either, right?
Yep,
So
yep,
yeah, I can't really expect much from those kind of people.
yep. So yeah, that was like, yeah, he was really bad. Like, oh my god, like I swear I've not shouted so much before in my life for a very very long time. Like really really long time. Like he really enraged me. That was how bad it was. Cause yeah, I don't like to fuck around with my job, especially when you have a position to care about, and you're at a position where you can't allow things to fuck up just because.
Yep.
Yep. Wait, how long has it been?
I think it's time to end.
Oh, just nice. Let's die on our beds, TK.
Oh yeah, I will
Yeah,
die.
fuck. Me too. I'm like half of my consciousness is not even here anymore.
Well, I think it's a good enough omen for us to end it here. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining us on today's episode, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed or learned. Maybe you're working, maybe you're going to work soon. Maybe you can learn something from today's episode. Who knows? But yeah, thank you for for joining us as always, and we'll see you again next week.
Goodbye.